Oh man, this is an hilarious one. So yeah, we heard that EA at that point they said, you know what, let's sell BioWare once and for all. And just look at this. So EA tried to sell BioWare after the failure of Drag Queen Edge the Failure, but they discarded firings, layoffs, excuse me, for now after the acquisitions. So the acquisitions Electronic Arts for 55 $1,000 million or $55 billion have generated concerns for the employees at BioWare, which they fear that they are going to get laid off after the recent failures of the studio. Oh, don't you think? But hey, these fuckers, should have been laid off after Mass Effect Andromeda, but they were still getting employed, like failing backwards. We saw it. Probably because we have said about USA. That organization from the US to drain money, as soon as they cut off, they had to realize, oh shit, we need to actually make some money. Even with EA assures that there's not going to be immediate changes, which is always a lie. Leaking suggests that the company even tried to sell BioWare. At some point, they say, fuck it. No, man, at some point, yeah, you should have done that from the start. But probably because, hey, they say we need to have all those leeches because we are a good decent person, and we already rant about that kind of fucking mentally ill retards work at BioWare nowadays, especially with products like such as Drag Queen Age, the fail hard. So the acquisition of Electronic Arts by the consortium of investors that includes Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia converted one of the biggest movements of the industry in digital entertainment of the latest years. However, the announcement brought with itself a lot of concerns between the workers, especially with BioWare, a studio hit by failed projects and laid off of veteran employees. So we have seen the kind of bullshit they have produced. We have seen that even the talented people they get pushed out by those studios because the parasites always love to keep themselves inside. It's not something new. It isn't. But continue on. Despite the company assuring that recently there's not going to be modifications immediately within the teams or the work routines, the distrust keeps going on. So the recent past of BioWare, with the summary of reports pointed out that their attempts of selling the studio fits the concerns of what could be with the next months uh, during this new direction. So yeah, we have seen the failures. Dragonage, the Felhard is the most recent one. But even it's funny seeing that sites like Polygon says what a EA deal could mean for Bioware, the scenes and more. Nothing. Honestly, if they sell someone that actually care for those IPs, even the ones that touch those, they're going to finance them, they're going to support them, they're going to buy it. Yeah, honestly, I don't care anymore for EA IPs. They already burned me with Need for Speed, Battlefield. They fuck it up so much. I'm not going to give them another chance anymore. And with Drag Queen Edge, Mass Effect, oh man. Especially for a studio like BioWare, like you should have been shut down a long time ago. Uh, Even the ones that I already care for this studio, they are realizing that it's just dead weight. But it's funny seeing like, oh well, experts waiting on the 55 billion deal. So we are seeing how they are just doing the summarize. Once complete, the acquisitions will take the company private, add for another high-profile video game publisher to the PIF portfolio, and put the biggest video game publishers under the orders with close personal ties to the US government. And you see, this is why I started late with this article, because at one point, even when I'm looking, I know they're going to mention Donald Trump. They cannot fucking shut up about their identity politics. It's the same fucking shit. How about pointing out, hey, what they have been selling out to everyone has been dog shit, underperforming, and the fact that they put a lot of budget, a lot of money in development for that dog shit, that should be like waking out of their eyes that, hey, we cannot continue this route. And of course, Saudi Arabians would rather say, nah, make money out of this by firing those fuckers. I don't care. And of course, tier retards are concerned because this is the only place they are going to be hired at the gaming industry. But at what point, why have sympathy for a name, a brand name that has been so eroded, corrupted, drowned in acid over the course of the years by releasing stuff that has been attached to legacy IPs like Mass Effect and Dragon Age? Yeah, even I can understand the people that grew up with those IPs or played them and enjoying them. At that point, yeah, they're seeing the like that. Hey, this is a this is just bullshit. Why would we keep giving money to this company even if they have their own or own beloved IPs? Why, when that's just going to desecrate them, humiliate it, and push all of that dog shit? Yeah, it's pretty telling. So continue on. Look at this how they are trying to pivot it here. If you are worried about EA's future, you are in a good company. The acquisition is unprecedented on many levels, and it throws the future of EA Studio and some of the biggest franchises, including BioWare's, The Sims, Apple Legends, and Battlefield in doubt. As long as they keep making money, for the Saudi Arabians, they are not going to give a flying fuck. Industry analysts have a very varying the predictions about what could come next. However, there are a few constants. Namely, the EA will likely implement large-scale spending reductions and sell off its less profitable studios. So you're trying to run the fence for bioware, and yeah, I agree. They should have done this shit a long time ago. But well, EA is well famous for shutting down even studios with talented people. But it's funny how they are. It's a bad thing that they're going to lay off a studio filled with fucking parasites that they don't produce anything good. We have seen it many times. So freedom of a price. Some investment firms, including Freedom Capital Markets, predict a buyout will free EA from the pressure of meeting investor expectations, and studios under its umbrella could gain the freedom to pursue riskier, more creative projects, but other industry analysts don't share that positive outlook. Well, because if they keep fucking everything up, at that point the Saudi Arabians are just going to tear apart EA as a whole. Probably just keeping FIFA because that's the only thing they care of, the sports brands. And since EA had a lot of sports brands like FIFA, well now called FC Club, NFL, and F1, because yeah, after acquiring Codemasters, since Codemasters were the holders of the Formula One's IP for video games, the franchise, yeah, they are only going to care of, and even as people know, in Saudi Arabia there is a track for racing Formula One. So yeah, Jazz Marina, and it's not like recently new. Well, it's quote unquote new since it's already have existed for over a decade, but still, they said they have so much money, they want to jump themselves into this attraction to clean up their image and also profit of other markets. Hell, they own WWE. So yeah, the the EA Sports brand is going to be fine. Apex and Battlefield, as long as they keep making money, is just going to be fine. Even if I dislike Battlefield nowadays. I already stated I dislike the franchise so much. It's not like it used to be back in the day with Battlefield 3. At least even Battlefield 4, after the patches, it was moderately decent. But what pissed me the fuck off was the fucking loot box progression system. But hey, see, the Sins and Bioware, so, well, why do you put the Sins and Bioware like they were so important? But I know why, it's fucking Polygon. It's one of those fucking game journos that they are running on their sale of the fence of their fucking moronic friends. But there you have it. Honestly, if EA shuts down entirely, we win. If EA turns like back into old days, still we win. But whatever, it's they're trying to make a big fuss of it from a fucking company that they committed so many fuck ups. Why do they care so much? Why don't instead go and support other alternatives? But probably if they tear apart the company and they sell those IPs, those alternatives could rise up by having the brand attachment. I mean, it could actually work at some point, but well, only time will tell. So that's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.